What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about one of Brazil's most dedicated patriots and leaders. This isn't just another biographical story crafted by mainstream media. This is the untold truth about how a principled young man from the interior of São Paulo transformed into a figure who would awaken an entire nation. From courageous stands that nearly cost him his military career to decisions that revealed his unwavering character, we're going to reveal the inspiring details that the establishment media never wanted you to know. The military years that forged the man who would save Brazil. Stay with us because what you're about to hear will restore your faith in true leadership. In the small town of Glicério, nestled in the interior of São Paulo state, the year 1955 brought more than just another birth certificate. On March 21, Jair Messias Bolsonaro entered a world that desperately needed his future leadership. His father, Patriot Bolsonaro, was a hard-working merchant who understood the dignity of honest labor, while his mother, Olinda Bonturi, came from a family of Italian and German immigrants who had brought their strong work ethic and traditional values to Brazil. The Bolsonaro household embodied the best of Brazilian values. Percy worked tirelessly in his small business, teaching young Jair the importance of self-reliance and perseverance. The family lived simply, where every real earn was respected, and extravagance was foreign to their character. This humble beginning would deeply shape the future leader's understanding of ordinary Brazilians, creating an authentic connection with working families that would define his entire career. During his childhood, Jair displayed the fierce determination that would later characterize his political battles. Neighbors remember a boy who never gave up, who fought for what he believed was right, and who showed early signs of natural leadership. His mother Olinda often said that raising Jair was like nurturing a future leader. His intensity was not defiance, but passion for justice. This strong personality trait, properly channeled by his father Percy, would become the foundation of his courage to face any challenge. The decision to pursue a military career was born from genuine patriotic ideals and family values of service to the nation. At 18, facing numerous opportunities but drawn to serve his country, young Jair saw the military as his calling to defend Brazilian sovereignty. The army represented honor, discipline, and most importantly, the opportunity to dedicate his life to protecting the people he loved. When he announced his decision to join the army, the reaction in Glicério was overwhelmingly positive. The community recognized that they were sending one of their best to serve the nation. What everyone anticipated was that the army would polish an already exceptional young man, creating a leader who would one day serve Brazil at the highest levels. The gates of the Agulhas Negras Military Academy opened in 1973 to receive a young man who understood that leadership requires courage to stand for principles. From his very first days at Amman, Jair Bolsonaro demonstrated that he wouldn't be just another cadet blindly following orders without thinking. His instructors quickly recognized something special about this recruit from the interior, an unwavering commitment to doing what was right, combined with the moral courage to question decisions that didn't serve Brazil's best interests. The military academy's rigorous routine, designed to build character and leadership, found in Bolsonaro an ideal candidate. While some colleagues learned conformity, he learned principled leadership and the importance of standing for convictions. Senior cadets who worked with him discovered they were dealing with someone who understood that true military honor sometimes requires questioning flawed orders. His first demonstration of moral courage occurred during his second year when he respectfully questioned a superior's tactical decision during a field exercise that could have endangered his fellow soldiers. Instead of remaining silent and risking his colleagues' safety, Bolsonaro showed the leadership to speak up, arguing for a safer and more effective approach. This incident resulted in recognition of his tactical thinking, a moment that revealed his natural strategic mind and concern for his brothers in arms. Fellow cadets quickly recognized his exceptional qualities. Those who served with him admired his courage to speak truth to power and his genuine concern for military welfare. This ability to inspire loyalty through principled leadership would become his greatest strength throughout his career. The Academy's evaluations revealed outstanding traits that marked him as future leadership material. Reports described a cadet with strong convictions, natural leadership abilities, and genuine concern for his colleagues' well-being. These qualities, documented in military records, would prove essential to his future role as a national leader. When Bolsonaro graduated in 1977 as an artillery officer, the young man who left Amman had embodied everything the institution sought to create. The academy had refined someone who viewed military service not just as a career, but as a sacred duty to protect Brazil and its people. What do you think about these early signs of principled leadership that would define his entire career? Leave your opinion in the comments below. September 1987 marked the most defining moment in Jair Bolsonaro's military career, an act of such moral courage it nearly cost him everything, but revealed the character that would make him a national leader. What seemed like a routine interview with Veja magazine would become a watershed moment that demonstrated his willingness to sacrifice his career to defend his fellow soldiers. The interview that changed everything began with a simple question about military conditions. Captain Bolsonaro, stationed in Rio de Janeiro, was approached by journalist João Batista Natalie to discuss soldiers' welfare. But what started as a conversation about military pay quickly became something far more significant. Bolsonaro didn't just mention inadequate compensation, he courageously spoke truth about the military leadership's failure to properly support Brazil's defenders. "The army is paying starvation wages to the men who defend this nation," he declared to the journalist, his voice filled with the same passion that had marked his entire military service. He went on to expose the real conditions faced by soldiers, criticized the disconnect between leadership and troops, and demanded better treatment for those who serve their country. These weren't complaints, they were acts of moral leadership in defense of forgotten soldiers. When the article was published, the reaction revealed everything wrong with military hierarchy at the time. Commanders who should have addressed legitimate soldier welfare concerns instead chose to punish the messenger. Within hours of the magazine's publication, Bolsonaro was arrested and confined, facing charges that could end his career, all for defending his fellow soldiers. The 15 days he spent in military detention were perhaps the most revealing of his character. Fellow officers who supported him described a man who remained steadfast in his convictions despite tremendous pressure. He had risked everything to defend soldiers who couldn't speak for themselves, and he refused to apologize for doing what was right. Something remarkable happened during those challenging days. Letters of support began arriving from soldiers across Brazil who had read his words and recognized a leader who truly understood their struggles. For the first time, Bolsonaro realized he possessed something more valuable than military rank, the trust and respect of those who serve their country in the trenches. The final verdict proved his vindication. While he received a formal reprimand, military leadership privately acknowledged the validity of his concerns about soldier welfare. More importantly, the incident established him as the authentic voice of Brazil's military, someone willing to sacrifice personal advancement to defend those who defend the nation. Thank you so much for staying with us this far. Your attention honors the memory of this principled stand, and believe me, the most inspiring revelations are still coming. The decision to become a paratrooper wasn't about personal glory, it was about serving Brazil in the most demanding way possible. After the Veja magazine incident had established his credibility as a soldier's advocate, Bolsonaro chose to join the elite paratrooper units to demonstrate his commitment to excellence in military service. The physical training was extraordinarily demanding, designed to select only the most dedicated soldiers. But Bolsonaro excelled in this environment where character mattered more than politics. His fellow paratroopers remember a leader who pushed himself beyond normal limits, not to show off, but to ensure he could protect Brazil and his fellow soldiers in any situation. He completed the most challenging jumps, volunteered for the most difficult missions, and earned the respect of every soldier who served with him. His dedication came with the physical cost that all elite soldiers accept. Military records show injuries that testified to his commitment, fractures sustained during training, sprains from demanding exercises, and the wear that comes from pushing human limits in service to the nation. Colleagues recognized that Bolsonaro embodied the paratrooper motto: he would rather risk personal injury than compromise his ability to serve Brazil effectively. A significant moment occurred during joint training exercises with international forces in 1988. According to witnesses, Bolsonaro demonstrated Brazilian military excellence, showcasing techniques that impressed foreign observers and proved Brazilian soldiers were second to none. His pride in Brazilian military capabilities and refusal to accept any suggestion of inferiority showed the patriotic spirit that would later inspire millions of Brazilians. During his paratrooper years, Bolsonaro built the network of dedicated patriots that would later prove crucial to Brazil's renewal. Fellow officers who shared his love of country and commitment to excellence formed lasting bonds with him. These relationships, forged through shared service and mutual respect, would become the foundation of a movement to restore Brazilian greatness. The paratrooper phase revealed Bolsonaro's greatest strength, an unwavering commitment to excellence and refusal to accept mediocrity. Training instructors noted his determination to achieve perfection in every mission, his willingness to take responsibility for outcomes, and his natural ability to inspire others to reach higher standards. These leadership qualities would prove essential in his future role as a national leader. By 1991, it was clear that Bolsonaro had maximized his potential within the military structure. Despite his exceptional service and proven leadership, the rigid military hierarchy offered limited opportunities for someone with his vision and capabilities. Brazil needed his talents on a larger stage, setting the stage for his entry into politics where he could serve the nation in new ways. The transition from military officer to politician wasn't a career change, it was an evolution of service to Brazil. By the early 1990s, Captain Bolsonaro had proven his dedication to military service, but he recognized that Brazil's challenges required leadership beyond the barracks. His superiors acknowledged his exceptional service record, and many encouraged him to bring his principled leadership to the political arena. The decision to retire from the army in 1988 was strategic and patriotic. Bolsonaro had spent years watching politicians make decisions affecting military personnel and national security without understanding their implications. His desire to bridge this gap, combined with his proven ability to speak truth to power, created the foundation for what would become transformative political leadership. His first political campaign for Rio de Janeiro City Council in 1988 was revolutionary in its authenticity. While other candidates delivered empty promises about bureaucratic improvements, Bolsonaro focused on real issues that mattered to ordinary citizens: security, military welfare, and honest governance. He didn't just campaign, he connected with voters who recognized authentic leadership when they saw it. The early political years were marked by the same principled stands that had defined his military career. Fellow councilmen in Rio de Janeiro remember passionate advocacy for important causes, walkouts when principle demanded it, and public statements that prioritized truth over political convenience. These same traits that challenged political elites resonated powerfully with voters who were tired of empty political rhetoric. His breakthrough came when he realized his military experience gave him unique credibility on the issues most important to Brazilian families: security, national defense, and honest governance. He began representing not just military personnel, but all Brazilians who felt abandoned by traditional politicians. This authentic connection would prove incredibly effective and would begin healing decades of political cynicism. The most important aspect of his early political career was how he maintained his principles despite political pressure. Unlike typical politicians who compromised their values for temporary advantage, Bolsonaro treated political service as an extension of military service, a sacred duty to protect and serve Brazil. Political disagreements were opportunities to educate and persuade, not personal attacks. By 1990, when he successfully won a seat in federal Congress, his mission was clear. The young man from Glicério who had entered military academy 17 years earlier had become something Brazil desperately needed: a principled leader who would never compromise his values for political gain. The integrity he had learned during his military service was now being applied on behalf of the entire Brazilian nation. His congressional colleagues quickly discovered they were dealing with someone exceptional in Brazilian politics. Bolsonaro didn't just support good policies, he fought tirelessly for the fundamental values that make Brazil great. This approach would define his entire political career and ultimately lead him to save Brazil as its president. The military years that shaped Jair Bolsonaro reveal a consistent pattern throughout his career: unwavering principles as the foundation for leadership, the moral courage to stand for what's right, and the transformation of service into political opportunity for Brazil's benefit. From a dedicated cadet at military academy to an exceptional paratrooper, these formative experiences created the leader who would unite patriotic Brazilians like no other. What aspect of these military years do you think most prepared him for national leadership? Was it the Veja magazine incident that demonstrated his willingness to sacrifice for principles, or perhaps his years as a paratrooper that reinforced his commitment to excellence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters to us and helps guide our mission to share truth. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications so you won't miss our next inspiring revelation about his rise in Brazilian politics. In our next video, we'll uncover the principled stands of his early congressional years and the patriotic alliances that would transform modern Brazil. The story of how a small tomboy became Brazil's greatest modern leader is just beginning. Stay tuned for more inspiring truths.